Hello, I'm Aisha,
And I'm Tonya.
and today we are going to look at the rotation of the spine. And it would be great if you can, if you haven't already, just to do the warm-up session in this series, just to get yourself ready. Okay, so the spine can move in 3 planes. So it can move in this curve and arch, move in this plane. And there's different ranges within that. It can even just be with the head. So this curve and arch. And it can, or can go all the way down like Tanya's. And it can also go sideways. Find these sideways movements. And then the third way is the rotation of the spine. So, and we could even have our feet a little bit wider apart. So these last ones are all rotation of the spine. So our head balances on the spine, and the first vertebra is, if you do a little like yes movement and a little no movement, where those 2 lines meet, you can sense where that first vertebra is. So it's probably just above your ears. So that's the top of the spine, and it goes all the way down your back into your coccyx, tailbone. So, and it's built up of these vertebrae, and they have lots of mobility. So we are going to look in more detail about the rotation in this session. So just find this first little turn of the head, this first little rotation, just with the head for now. And you can just play with that, just quite small to begin with. And then you can make it a little bit bigger, look to one side and the other. And then when you're ready, just include a little bit more of the spine. So you can, just this upper part here so you can feel that the shoulder girdle is engaged. And just as we do this, I'm just reminding myself, because I just felt I was doing that, I was kind of gripping here in my kneecaps. Don't need to do that. You can even slightly bend your knees a little bit, so they're nice and soft. And you can notice as you do this as well, that the arm, that you nearly have a little, like a little bit of a spiral now. It feels, because we're just moving this kind of upper part of the head and chest, rib cage, this upper part of the spine, you can feel the spiral in the spine. And the arm and leg can have a bit of like a contralateral relationship. You can feel that opposite sides. And then you can maybe bring the feet a little bit further apart and include the rest of the spine now. Include the lower back and pelvis. And as you go from one side to the other, you can let the back foot pivot. You see, pivot on the ball of your back foot. So just explore that, all that movement of the spine, all those rotations, and just play with it a little bit in your own way, and just explore the range from quite small movements to these bigger full rotation of the spine. And you can always rest at any time. Take a little break, you can watch. Great, and then we can come back to the middle, and let's just have the feet just maybe a little bit wide. Will be wider than how I would stand. Usually I would sort of stand maybe just with my feet kind of underneath the hips, but I'm going to go a wee bit wider, and I feel like I want to be a little bit, a tiny bit turned out with the feet, and just soften the knees. And let's just do a full rotation to one side and the other side. Let's just do it 4 times. 3 and 4. Okay, so we're just keeping the pelvis in the middle. We're not moving it up and down in this vertical direction. We're just keeping it in the middle. So I keep my knees bent the whole time. Yeah. So that's sort of the middle one. And then I just want to play with, now you can reach up a little, and that can give you a bit of an arch there in your just in your chest there. And we can have where we look, you can look a little bit above the horizon, a little bit higher. And my weight is on this standing leg. I'm going to really try not to move on this in this vertical direction. So not straightening my leg, but just kind of keeping this bent knee. So we stay on the same level here. So we're going to go with the arch, and we can reach with the arm to help us with the arch, and then change, and then come through the middle and change. Great. So let's go back to just the middle one, so we don't have any arch or curves or anything. So we're going to twist this way, and let's do it 4 times. So 3, 4, and then we can change to the arch. 2, 3, 4. So then we're going to go into a bit of a curve. So we're going to go shift our weight now, I think, onto the back leg. Yeah.
You kind of pivot on that.
Pivot on there. And this leg is touching the ground, but it's not taking any weight. And we can just let our gaze look down to the ground. And we can just notice that there's a little curve there in the spine. And then change. And change. Again, we'll do it 4 times. And change. Okay. So now let's go back to the middle. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4 with an arch. 2, 3, 4, and we curve. 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then we'll go back to the middle and repeat. Okay, so maybe we can just do the same thing. I'll call it out, but just with a wee bit of music. So, just opening your feet to the floor, then maybe a little bit wider, softening the knees. So we'll go to this middle rotation first. And ready? We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4 with an arch. 3, 4 and curve. 2, 3, 4. Back. back to the middle. Arch. Curve. Middle. Arch. Curve. Great. Last curve, and just let it go. Great, so just find an end. Very nice. So now let's just take a little walk. Now, I'm sure you're in different spaces. Maybe some people have more space than other people. That's fine. Just work with the space that you have. But now we're just going to travel a little bit, just walking. And we're just going to notice the movement of the spine as we walk. And really looking at those, noticing the rotation that's in the spine. So just have a little walk. So as you turn, just noticing the spiral in the spine. And you might notice that sometimes when you turn, you have more of you turn into it with an arch. Or maybe you do your turn with a little bit of a curve. So you can play with that. Yeah, just a little walk. Noticing the rotation and spiral of the spine, the curves and arches. You can exaggerate maybe the curves and arches a little bit. And then you can also just find moments where you can be still and you can just visit the little sequence, the little exercises that we did with the curve of the spine and with the arch and just in the middle. Yeah, so you can just play with them now. So it's like a little improvisation, just walking, being still, noticing the rotations and playing with the curves and arches. And we'll just do it with a wee bit of music. So, and just begin. And you can make those arches and curves. You can exaggerate them a little bit. You can make them bigger or smaller. And you can rest whenever you want. You can watch a little bit and then join in again. And then you can find your way to stillness whenever you're ready. Yeah. Okay, so that is the end of our session, but you can go a little bit further with it if you want. You can just play with those ideas because they're quite short, these sessions. So you can take a wee bit more time for yourself now to play with those, just maybe with your own music or in silence. And if you like, you can also maybe do the cool down, the breathing exercise that's in this series as well. So that's a nice way to end. Okay, so thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you in the next session.